No.
Hi, everybody. Zero's struggling to cope, I think, is the right word for it. So, zero interest. RWBY, Season 3, Episode 11.
My heart has fallen into my stomach, and I feel awful right now.
Alternative title, I don't know what the actual title is, but the alternative title is Somehow It Can Still Get Worse.
Worse. The title is Heroes and Monsters, and so
let's go in order, shall we?
We start with a shot of the Grim Dragon that's making its way on over, and RWBY is fighting Neo. She's fighting Grim, and then Neo appears, and
Snapshot.
Neo is...
Guess who?
Yeah, she just... Yeah. And so they start fighting, and then Blake starts fighting Adam, and yeah.
It goes poorly.
Yeah. And meanwhile, all our big friend gang is at Beacon fighting off the robots and whatnot. And Velvet gets permission to use her semblance.
Her semblance and her weapon, to be clear, it's both of them.
Which is, hey, if I've seen them do stuff, I can copy them.
To be clear, because it's not made abundantly clear in the episode at all, her weapon is her camera. It is a photocopier.
Oh.
So it takes a picture of a weapon. All those shitty photos you've been seeing were her taking pictures of weapons, not people.
Mm-hmm.
And it can make hard-light copies of them. And her semblance, which is why this weapon was made this way, is if she's seen someone fight with a weapon, she can imitate that fighting style.
She's basically a one-person army.
No, she is...
In terms of, like, she can, like, do switch between weapons so much, it's as if she's doing combinations with herself.
Kind of, yeah. She's a mimic, in very, very simple terms.
Yeah, and it's really cool, and I was getting really hyped during that part.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure the limits on that. Like, Coco was implying she had to save it up, which means I assume it's expended now, and that's it, and she has to take more photos.
Yeah.
I got... You have no idea how choked up I got when she did the swords. Penny swords.
Yeah, she did Penny swords.
I was cracking, like, severely.
Oh, yeah.
I had to stay silent because Zero would have
me too.
crying.
Me too. I was like, I saw that and I was like, that's what you end with, and that's a really strong ending. Yeah. She did the sword laser that
It was really good.
She gets smacked away, and Weiss joins in. And Weiss, in the height of all this adrenaline and everything, ends up partial summoning. Which was also really hype, because giant arm comes out with this giant sword and blocks an attack from a robot. And, like, attacks and
cuts it in half.
And I'm still like, yeah, I think I know exactly what that is.
It's the night. It's very, very...
Yeah, it's if it wasn't evident before with the tiny sword, it's even more evident now. And I'm still waiting to see the full summoning of that. It might not even be in the next episode or anything, but it'll probably show up some point, and I'll be really even more hyped with that. But beyond that, Neapolitan, and RWBY are fighting, and then Roman shows up, and then they're all fighting, and Ruby's like, "What's the deal? What do you stand to gain from all this?" He's like, "I can't. It's not that I stand to gain anything. It's that I can't afford to lose."
Basically reinforcing what I was saying about he is trapped in this whole thing. If he wants to get out, but he literally can't. There is no way for him to do so safely.
So he's like, "Well, I guess I'm betting on them to win this." And Neo gets thrown off. She gets her umbrella opens up, and she
Ruby's
goes
hanging
flying
off the edge of the ship. Absentmindedly kicks away a griffin while they're having this conversation, and notices that Neo's umbrella is like right there in front of her with the button that opens it. And they happen to be on an airship that is traveling through the air at high speeds. Whee!
And she Mary Poppins away.
Yep.
She'll probably survive.
Unknown. She was flying unguided through a field of flying Grim. There's a very, very good chance that she is dead.
Or she landed on a Grim and piloted to the road to the ground or something. I don't know. It's up in the air.
It's still in the air. Because he made a regular reference, I made a Rooster Teeth reference.
And so Roman he shouts Neo, like he feels like really bad. Like you can tell, he actually does care about her. She's not just some pawn.
She was his, and everyone else was Cinder's. She was basically his only ally in all of this shit that's gone down around him.
And he's like, "I've done all this just so I could survive," and then he gets eaten by a Grim.
Yep. I'm gonna do what I've always done. Lie, steal, cheat, and survive!
Which, I guess is funny. At the same time, that...
It's anticlimactic, yes, you're not wrong.
I don't know how I feel about that.
It is entirely within the series logic. Because Grim are drawn to negative emotion.
Yeah.
Grim 101. And he was feeling a whole hell of a lot of negative emotion right there. Having just lost his only confidant in the shittiest deal he has ever made, he is literally just sitting in a field of Grim where everyone is an enemy, and he is just hating RWBY at that moment.
I feel like given what Roman has been throughout the series from episode 1, that just wasn't a proper ending for him. It, and he's in jail in this building. He got the worst deal out of anyone.
Kind of. I mean, it's actually fitting to his character origin as well, because he was Lampwick, as I mentioned before, or Leonardo, depending on which one you're watching. So he was the little boy that decided he was going to be bad forever and just go to Fun Forever Land, just doing whatever he wanted for as long as he pleased. Then he turned into a donkey, and it was horrifying. But he took that route to its inevitable conclusion, and that's what happened here as well.
Yeah. Bit of a shame, but hey, there's fan fiction, so
there is.
I liked him as a villain, and I would have liked to see him continue to go on.
I was disappointed. I'm not going to lie. I was disappointed too. I really was, because he was a fan favorite character. I'm a fan. He was one of my favorite characters.
And I feel like they could have done more, like, with a character arc for him after all this. Change, I don't know, but whatever. He's gone rather unceremoniously.
Yeah, I mean,
and
upsides and downsides of there being consequence and actual death in the series. Like, there's a lot of stuff they could have done with him, but I'd rather there be legitimate feeling of, bad things can happen to literally anyone. Anyone can die. There is no safety net for characters that you like.
Yeah, that is a valid stance to take, a valid point. We see Ironwood, and he's half robotic, and I had my first thought when he had blocked that Grim in the other hand with one hand, and the other episode with one hand, was that it was robotic, and then I later like mentally was like, nah, he's probably got like a strength semblance or something, and that's what I said last episode, was he probably had like a strength related semblance. No, it was robotic. I shouldn't have second guessed myself.
Yeah, he's the Tin Man. It kind of made sense.
Yeah, it does. So he deals with stuff and meets up with Crow, and we're like, yeah, we need to get this stuff handled. Crow's like, I don't blame you. He pulls out his scythe. Let's go get him. You know, Ironwood's like, I need to get to my ship. It crashes. Oh, well, it's less of a walk.
You're saying all of the lines like I do. It's, yeah, okay.
Yeah. And so then Big Robot starts to come up to the rest of the friends at Beacon, but because the ship crashed now, all the robots are going inactive. So now it's just Grim to deal with. Yay! And so Jean, as you recall, followed Pyrrha, and they're going straight to where we thought they were going, which was, hey, we need to solve this with power. And, you know, Ozpin's like, hey, Jean, just block. Just stand guard. That's all you have to do. You have one job. Make sure you do it. Pyrrha gets in the capsule, gives one sad look to Jean, and Ozpin's like, are you sure? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, I need to hear, you know, that you're certain about this. And as it's happening, she's screaming, she's in pain, which draws Jean's attention away, which leaves an opening for Cinder to shoot an arrow into Fall Maiden Amber.
Yeah. Fair. To be fair, if he saw Cinder drawing an arrow, he wouldn't be going to protect Was it Amber? I think it's Amber.
Yeah, he wouldn't be going to protect Amber. He'd be going to protect Pyrrha.
Exactly. So.
But like, bad guy wins again, gets all the power now, because all the power from Amber seems to fly straight into Cinder, and now she has everything.
Yep.
And
so let me be clear about what just happened. The villain succeeded in her master plan. This was the goal. Everything else that happened was a side bet.
Everything.
She wanted the full power of the Fall Maiden. That's why they did the backstory. That's why they showed her gathering all of everyone. Like, Mercury, Emerald, the White Fang. She was gathering people to fuck up Vale, sure. Everything else she's been doing since then has been to get into, to find out where they were keeping the Fall Maiden.
Find out where and get her.
And get the rest of the
power.
That's all she's been after, really.
So now she's full power magic, awful person, and Ozpin's like, I'll handle her. Go get reinforcements. Pyrrha, take Jean. You will only slow me down, and you'll only be a burden right here. So get out. So she takes Jean and leaves, and Cinder just lets them leave, because what could they possibly do to her now?
Yep. And in hindsight, now that I think about it again, actually, no, I guess there were two goals. I'm completely wrong about everything I said previously. There were two goals. One of them was to fuck up Vale, and one of them was to get into the vault. And she got both of them. And
she's like, well, I guess what they said is right about you, Ozpin. And what was the word she used to describe him?
Arrogant.
Arrogant, yeah.
Right beneath our feet.
Meanwhile, we kind of skipped past this because we started talking about Pyrrha, but earlier on, Blake and Adam. Blake gets stabbed by Adam, who's trying to draw Yang over. Yang's like all super mad, rushes at him, but Adam is really powerful and dismembers her.
Remember how I said her worst opponent would be someone that could take her out in one single hit?
Yeah.
Oh, please.
Like when I saw that they were going to fight, I was like, that is a bad matchup.
It is, in fact, almost a mirror match, because that's what his weapon does.
Yeah, I know.
It absorbs energy and then fires it back. So,
but like, here's the problem: the more damage she takes, the more damage she deals. The more damage she deals to him, the more he absorbs, the more he can dish out. And it is not a good matchup.
Nope.
Especially considering that he's older and has more experience and has probably been through many more battles.
He has been fighting a war, basically. A guerrilla war, but a war nonetheless. He is a well-trained, well-experienced powerhouse of a fighter.
He is Yang, but better, basically. Mm-hmm. And so she gets her arm, most of her arm cut off.
Yep. Down to there. Sorry. There.
And Blake uses a shadow clone and to cover while she goes and runs away with Blake, or Yang, who is now dismembered. And I feel like this is the inverse of season 2's ending, where there were no consequences really, at least at first. There are consequences everywhere. Everywhere. People are dying, getting dismembered permanently, most likely. I can, like, the fact alone that Roman got just bit the dust right there. I'm now worried about my characters, and I guess that's the characters that I care about more. So, because I guess, like, I know I said earlier that it was kind of anticlimactic, but at the same point, the fact that they could just kill off Roman like that, and after the whole thing with Penny,
it's a setup for anyone can die. Penny and Roman, Penny less so, but Roman was a throwaway character because he was never meant to be as important as he became. But he was used here as a setup for, yes, anyone can die. This is a very bad situation. There are serious consequences. Bad things can happen to your favorite characters too. Like,
is somebody going to lose an eye too? A leg? Is like one of the characters that I've come to like so far going to die? Like, I don't want anybody to die. Oh.
You know the sign.
Yeah, I know.
Just giving you time to speculate if you want to.
I was just talking about my fear. I didn't really. It's not good. This is not a good situation at all. And they still haven't even fought the dragon yet.
Nope.
Okay.
All right. So that's pretty much it for episode 11. I think we covered just about everything, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's do one more episode.
Yay, jazz hands. See you in a few days. Bye.